All right. So our next spoken word artist is Dante Clark.
Piece of me is trying to piece together a piece of mind. You know, like whatever piece of mind is fine, you know, unless by design it don't provide me a peace of mind, you see. Because peace of mind is peace of mind. My mind want peace of minds to come back, way back before that trap black. This piece of my mind been outlined in black. The black, the darkest hue of the pack black. That dirt kneeled in the thirst field. Work first before us to feed off y'all scraps like life. Sings me sweet songs. I would love to dance, but I'm afraid of my feet. I'm a walking prayer, Negro spiritual. Cry from a broken heart that bleeds obsidian. Trying not to be a cup of bitter sip on bed table, absent of soul food. In a kitchen, out of reach from grandma's hands in some trap house, section 8, miles away from life that's living. No, I want to empty out, be baptized in honey and drip for eternity, for eternity, for eternity, like life sings me sweet songs. I would love to dance, but
Black health and wellness and poetry in Richmond evolved from a collaboration between I myself, the poet laureate of Richmond, and the teen services librarian Angela Cox. We collaborated together to put this night together. Originally it was supposed to be in February for Black History Month, but we decided to push it back to April, which is also Poetry Month, so it's a mixture of like health information and also poetry.
For what we need in Richmond. I grew up here, went to school here. My daughter's now graduating from El Cerrito High, and I hear from her, right, the challenges, especially during the pandemic, that young people had to go through. It was a difficult time. You know, the disparities that exist in our county, in our state, in our country, difference in health outcomes between African Americans and people who are not African American, mostly white, were just exposed more during the pandemic, right? We saw a greater disparity in health outcomes. African Americans suffered more cases of COVID, and at the beginning of the pandemic, there were lower rates of testing and vaccination in the African American community. And I know that our health department was really committed to closing that equity gap.
And concerning the health status of Black and brown folks in the city of Richmond, we have a long need for improvement to help eradicate disparities in the city. When you look at the healthcare disparities from infant mortality to cancer rates, to COVID deaths, to hypertension rates, to diabetes, to that end, there's a need for interventions to help correct those deficits.
You know, this is not about going out and hiring consultants and experts. It is about identifying people who are impacted by the challenges and having them speak out and be the voice. I know you're going to hear later from Dr. Carson, but I think one thing that Dr. Carson represents is that the messenger counts as much or more than the message.
This is a healthcare desert. This is a healthcare desert, y'all. There is a national shortage on what we call healthcare disparity hospitals. The hospitals that take care of the poor people, the brown people, the yellow people, blah, blah, blah. Across the country, they're closing because the federal and the state level, we are not getting the same funding that you do with the blues and the health nets. People have asked me, well, how the hell do you ensure yourself to get access to care? I say, live next door to a Nordstrom's. I'm not just keeping the shit 100, as y'all say. So, that being said, having seen hospitals closed, Richmond Hospital, any of y'all been around here? I've seen Richmond Hospital on 23rd Street. That hospital closed. Doctors Hospital Pinole closed. Doctors Hospital Brookside closed. This brother over here was just saying, man, we're not taking care of ourselves. We go to work, we stress out, we do this, we do that. When was the last time we took a walk around the corner? These kids go to school, they go to school eating potato chips from the local store. See all the dope boys, right, the D boys right there. They see all the people drinking alcohol right there. How the hell they gonna not learn to do this? If they not in an environment that they see the good people that are doing the good things and they see the D boys all the time bouncing, it's a hard, you know, come on, let's keep it 100.
dance, but I'm afraid of my feet. It's like being born black, buried blues by brothers buried beneath bridges, burned bodies belittled before becoming better, beyond broken but believing, because brotherhood build beautiful bonds, bypassing bullies, brute, billy bats, beating blacks, backbone breaking, burdened by balancing books, bullets, bricks, bearing blocks, blown by bombs, billowing blues, Billy Blue before back bust, boy, cotton brunk benefits be barely breathing between the bricks, brought by Babylonians, Baphomets, biopics be blackberries bent below bulky branches, bruh, life sings me sweet songs. I would love to dance, but I'm afraid of my feet.
Most of these pieces reflect my thoughts and my experience from this whole pandemic thing.
Burning sage while I'm kicking back. I'm just spitting facts. Manifest dreams while I take a nap. Create a new reality. Put my city on the map. I see the drama in my rear view. I ain't looking back. I came too far, I got no time for that. Playing in them streets could have got me smacked. The universe had a different plan than that.
Cece Gervais is the Media Arts and Culture Program Manager at the Rice Center and is also the former poet, one of the former poet laureates of Richmond.
Anxious for my homies, never lonely, always for the overtime. Richmond on my mind, M is for my mama, miss her, I gotta call her. E is for eternal, live up and beat the hurdles. Yeah, I'm home now. Nobody leaves home, which is to say that home is a backpack, is a book of memories, is my very first tattoo, an open wound and salve. Nobody leaves home.
A lot of you know me as Michelle from the city of Richmond, but I'm Michelle who grew up in the city of Richmond. Right? A wall of waves that we couldn't go over or under or around if we tried. But the Lord goes before us in battle, a mighty people reduced to chattel. And yet, with a last breath, we laid our hearts in the inlet, letting fate carry out to sea, knowing that an enemy approaches quickly and he's got something for us, all right? Closed, scarlet soldier, the unflappable ill will holder, mounted on indignant spite. Shoes of undisputed strength and might stand to the left and right of him.
Your thoughts controlling you, you need to let them pass through. You're living in your thoughts, you need to let them pass through. Let them pass through, let them pass through. Thoughts turn to emotions, a commotion of conflicting voices trying to break me open. Like head against the pavement, these emotions leave me broken. What's wrong with me? I think to myself, worth is feeling hopeless. Depression and anxiety too strong and I can't focus. Downstairs is where I dwell, and just in case you didn't notice, this is my inner hell, a cell locked up with my emotions, holding deep within abysses darkest bottom of the ocean. I'm being pulled apart, I got to welcome all my feelings now and let them pass through. Let them pass through, let them pass through.
Our mix of poetry and health and wellness came together. Basically, Angela came up with the idea of the health and wellness portion of it, and I came up with the idea of the poetry. I originally reached out to her first.
Blending poetry with a program about health and wellness not only involves the body, but involves the mind. Because if your mind isn't right, if your spirit isn't right, if you're stressed, that contributes to a lot of the physical ailments you can contract.
The society, in particular in the Black community, then spoken word helps to help our spiritual health. And when your spiritual health has to be intact for the whole body to be intact.
So expressing yourself, letting the frustration out, being creative and expressive, those are all ways of healing as well.
So we got to deal with mind, body, and spirit at the same time. You can't just focus on your body without focusing on your mind and your spirit, because, you feel me, you could be physically well, but mentally and spiritually dead, you feel me? So I feel like what I want people to take away with is like, yes, let's talk about our body, but we also got to deal with what's going on in our mind.